Well, I think over time there's going to be a lot of technology evolution with the Terafab, but fundamentally it's about scale.
Elon Musk has finally revealed the ultimate footprint of the Terrafab factory, and it's being hailed as one of the wildest claims in Tesla CEO history.
We expect that the Terafab is going to be around 100 million square feet, which is 10 times the size of the Tesla Gigafactory, Texas.
Not only that, Elon Musk also revealed that Terrafab is developing a new generation of AI chips that could deliver 2 to 3 times the performance of Nvidia's chips while costing only about 10% as much. Everything happening inside Terrafab sounds almost too good to be true. So what is really going on inside this 100 million square foot factory, and is the $122 billion investment a massive gamble or simply Elon Musk's next ambitious vision? Here's what's actually happening. Before we talk about AI chips, Tesla, Nvidia, or the $122 billion investment, the first thing we need to take a closer look at is the figure of 100 million square feet. Because if that number refers to actual production floor space, Terrafab would no longer be just another semiconductor factory. It would become one of the largest industrial projects ever pursued by a private company in modern history. In fact, if what Elon Musk recently revealed is accurate, the most shocking thing about Terrafab isn't its goal of producing 1 terawatt of computing hardware per year. The most shocking thing is the factory's sheer physical scale. To put that into perspective, Tesla's Gigafactory, Texas is currently considered one of the largest manufacturing buildings in the world, with roughly 10 million square feet of floor space. But according to Musk, Terrafab could reach 100 million square feet, about 10 times larger. Even when compared with the largest manufacturing complexes on Earth today, that figure remains difficult to comprehend. Volkswagen Wolfsburg plant, often regarded as the largest automobile manufacturing complex owned by a single brand, has around 70 million square feet of production space after decades of continuous expansion. Meanwhile, Hyundai Ulsan complex, which operates 5 independent factories along with its own port and logistics infrastructure, covers approximately 54 million square feet of industrial floor space. That means that if Musk is referring to actual floor space, Terrafab would be larger than Volkswagen's Wolfsburg plant and nearly twice the size of Hyundai's Ulsan complex. What's particularly remarkable is that neither Wolfsburg nor Ulsan is a single factory. They are industrial empires built over decades, consisting of countless workshops, warehouses, logistics centers, and supporting infrastructure. Terrafab, by contrast, is still only a project under development. Its physical scale alone is enough to make it one of the most ambitious industrial ventures ever announced. And this is where the most important question emerges. Why would a semiconductor factory need to be that large? Because if we look at the history of the semiconductor industry, size has never been the deciding factor behind success. Companies like TSMC, Samsung Electronics, and Intel did not become industry leaders because they owned the largest campuses. They became leaders because they developed the most advanced manufacturing technologies, attracted the best engineering talent, and mastered the ability to operate reliably at enormous scale. In the chip industry, the biggest constraint on production capacity is usually not land. It is technology. A state-of-the-art semiconductor fab can cost tens of billions of dollars, but most of that investment goes into clean rooms, EUV lithography machines, wafer processing lines, and thousands of pieces of equipment capable of nanometer-level precision. In other words, TSMC doesn't lack land. Intel doesn't lack land either. What they need is cutting-edge technology, advanced equipment, and the ability to maintain exceptionally high yield rates. That's why, when Musk talks about a facility spanning 100 million square feet, it suggests that Terrafab may not be designed around the traditional fab model that has defined the semiconductor industry for decades. Instead, it could represent a fundamentally different approach to large-scale chip manufacturing. Based on what has been revealed so far, Terrafab isn't involved in just one stage of the value chain. Instead, the project has been described as a vertically integrated system that spans everything from chip design and logic chip manufacturing to memory production, advanced packaging, and even the direct integration of complete AI hardware systems. If that vision becomes reality, Terrafab's enormous scale starts to make much more sense. At that point, Musk wouldn't simply be building a semiconductor factory. He would be building an entire AI manufacturing ecosystem within a single campus. And this is where Terrafab's strategy begins to resemble the approach Tesla used in the electric vehicle industry. For years, traditional automakers relied on hundreds of different suppliers for batteries, software, electronics, and critical components. Tesla took a different path, gradually bringing more and more of those key elements under its own control. It appears that Musk is now attempting to apply the same philosophy to the AI industry. Because in the age of AI, the most valuable resource is no longer oil or even batteries. The most valuable resource is compute. And Terrafab may represent Musk's most ambitious effort yet to gain control over that resource. This is also where the story becomes far more interesting. Terrafab is not being built merely to meet Tesla's current needs. Instead, it is being designed around the level of computing demand that Musk believes will emerge over the coming years. In other words, the project is being planned not for today's AI market, but for the future scale of AI that Musk expects the world will eventually require. According to the announced roadmap, Tesla's AI5 platform is expected to begin its initial deployment ramp-up in 2026 before entering large-scale production in 2027. AI6 and AI7 are then expected to follow in rapid succession over the years that follow. If this plan unfolds as intended, Tesla won't simply be upgrading its AI hardware generation by generation the way traditional automakers update vehicle platforms. Instead, the company is attempting to create a development cycle more akin to the semiconductor industry, where performance can improve dramatically every few years. This is particularly significant because Tesla's ambitions are no longer limited to electric vehicles. Each new generation of AI hardware will need to support autonomous vehicles, the Tesla Optimus humanoid robot, AI data centers, and future automation systems all at the same time. As millions of vehicles and potentially millions of robots operate on a shared AI platform, the demand for computing power could reach levels rarely seen outside companies such as Nvidia, Microsoft, and Google. And that's only what happens here on Earth. Alongside the AI chips intended for Tesla and XAI, Terrafab is also reportedly pursuing an entirely different direction with its D3 chip program, which is said to be designed for space applications. These processors would be engineered for environments that most commercial chips never have to endure. In space, chips must operate under intense radiation, withstand extreme temperature fluctuations, and function with little to none of the conventional cooling methods available on Earth. In other words, the engineering challenges are fundamentally different. Building a high-performance AI chip for a data center is one thing. Building a processor capable of delivering reliable performance in the harsh conditions of space is an entirely different challenge. If successful, the D3 program could extend Terrafab's ambitions far beyond terrestrial AI infrastructure and into the next generation of space-based computing systems. Inside Terrafab, two contrasting design philosophies must operate side by side, one optimizing AI processors for real-world robotics where speed and efficiency are paramount, and the other engineering D3 chips for space-based systems where extreme durability is the top priority. This dual focus positions Terrafab to become the hardware backbone for Elon Musk's entire multi-domain ecosystem rather than a standard semiconductor facility. Driven by this ambition, Musk claims their developing architecture will deliver 2 to 3 times the performance of Nvidia solutions at only 10% of the cost for specific AI workloads. While these unverified metrics remain ambitious targets, they signal that Terrafab's goal is not marginal competition, but a fundamental disruption of Nvidia's market dominance. He is attempting to change the economics of AI altogether, because if a company could genuinely produce AI hardware that offers dramatically higher performance at a fraction of the cost, the impact would extend far beyond Tesla. It could reshape the entire AI industry, where the cost of computation is increasingly becoming the single biggest constraint on the development of ever larger and more capable models. However, this is also where the biggest question begins to emerge. Even if Terrafab is built according to plan, even if AI5, AI6, and Tesla's future chip generations perform exactly as expected, would that really be enough to challenge Nvidia? Because while Elon Musk is talking about the future, Nvidia continues to widen its lead in the present. Over just a few years, Nvidia has experienced one of the most dramatic value explosions in modern corporate history. A company once known primarily for graphics cards used by gamers has become the central pillar of the global AI revolution. Virtually every leading AI model today, from ChatGPT and Google Gemini to Claude and Grok, has been trained on Nvidia hardware. What makes Nvidia so formidable is not simply that it sells chips. The truly powerful part is that Nvidia has become the industry's default standard. When a company decides to build an AI data center, Nvidia is almost always the first choice. When an AI startup raises billions of dollars in funding, a significant portion of that capital often finds its way back to Nvidia in the form of GPU orders. And as governments around the world begin investing in national-scale AI infrastructure, Nvidia remains the name that appears at the top of most procurement plans. As a result, the company's revenue has grown at a pace that very few businesses in history have ever achieved. Its data center division alone has become a massive cash-generating machine. producing tens of billions of dollars in revenue every quarter. According to market analyses from organizations such as IoT Analytics and Gartner, Nvidia currently controls an estimated 85% to 95% of the global market for dedicated AI accelerators used for both training and inference in data centers around the world. The scale of that dominance becomes even more apparent when looking at the industry's largest infrastructure investments. During Meta's recent AI expansion efforts, Mark Zuckerberg confirmed that Meta had accumulated roughly 350,000 Nvidia H100 GPUs, with each chip reportedly costing between $30,000 and $40,000. That places Meta's spending on Nvidia hardware alone at well over $10 billion. And even Elon Musk has contributed to Nvidia's rise. When building the Colossus AI supercomputer in Memphis, xAI reportedly deployed around 100,000 H100 GPUs, meaning the company likely spent somewhere between $3 billion and $4 billion on Nvidia hardware using capital raised from investors. While most technology companies struggle to protect their profit margins, Nvidia continues to operate at gross margin levels that many other industries can only dream of. But this is what makes Nvidia truly dangerous. Most people assume Nvidia's advantage comes from its hardware. In reality, the hardware is only part of the story. Nvidia's ultimate competitive moat is not its hardware, but its software ecosystem. CUDA, developed over a decade. CUDA has become the de facto industry standard, deeply embedded into the workflows of millions of engineers and companies. Consequently, the AI landscape is an ecosystem race rather than a mere hardware contest. Even if competitors produce faster or cheaper chips, they consistently fail to capture market share because they cannot convince an entire industry to abandon a deeply rooted software ecosystem for an unproven alternative. So what is Terrafab's biggest challenge? Competing with Nvidia across the entire tech industry is exceptionally difficult because Nvidia sells a complete software ecosystem, not just chips. However, Elon Musk's Terafab venture does not need to beat Nvidia at its own game to succeed. Just as Tesla disrupted the automotive industry by focusing on unprioritized niches rather than competing head-to-head with legacy automakers, Terafab can succeed by focusing strictly on Musk's own specialized domains, such as autonomous vehicles, humanoid robotics, and aerospace. By building vertically integrated hardware optimized exclusively for its own ecosystem at a lower cost, Terafab can become the industrial backbone of Musk's AI empire. Ultimately, this $122 billion gamble will either secure Musk's technological autonomy or mark one of Silicon Valley's most expensive failures. Yeah, these are the latest updates from Elon Musk regarding the Terafab project. What do you think about this plant? Will it really be built to the planned scale? Drop a comment below. That's the entire episode today, and this video only exists because of you. If you want to keep this community growing, hit that subscribe and like button. It really means a lot to us. Goodbye.